All right, welcome back. Still treating the health implication of Lassa fever. Is there a difference between Lassa fever and monkeypox that broke out recently?
Yes, there's a lot of differences between them, other than the fact that they are both infectious diseases of high importance that are both spread by viruses that we are all talking about. Ebola is more similar to Lassa fever in that they are like yellow fever, they are viral hemorrhagic fevers. Monkeypox is a pox problem. So it really, what you find is those things, those bumps and stuff that look like pimples or rashes. And the symptoms, though, can be similar in the beginning to the flu-like symptoms, those malaria-like, that we like to call malaria-like signs and symptoms, like headache, body pain. But you also get a rash. And in monkeypox, the infection is very closely linked to sexual intimacy. So you can find the rash around the genitals, and you can also find it around the face, the chest. So areas where, you know, person-to-person contact would have occurred. And so you can find the rash or the bumps and stuff. A lot of people might not really.
But how deadly is that one, that monkeypox? How deadly is it too?
Well, for the people that it will be deadly for, the problem is they don't have cures. They don't have, so it's really difficult to treat something. So we can just support the body through and hope the person makes it for the most part. Lassa fever does have ribavirin, and, you know, but it's rare, expensive and stuff. And then monkeypox has some other, you know, medications too. So it's just easier to prevent them, really.
But we don't have it much in Nigeria, just for us to just discuss it.
There are no vaccines that can prevent it. That's the issue. You know, so it's really hard to you know, treat, and then the prevention is also kind of tricky, and that's why the best thing that you can do is just work at disseminating the information, such as we're doing here, that this is what you need to look out for, and this is what you need to see and be aware of. If somebody has the rash, the symptoms for monkeypox, for example, tend to come about 4 days after the onset of the rash, about 3 weeks after the onset of after the point of infection. So it's really just to be safe out there. Even COVID is not done with people yet, so to continue to put up your masks in places where you can, you know, have your social distancing, and continue to just be careful with your hand hygiene and don't touch people.
Still use your hand sanitizers, you know.
So things that you share between people, you know, just make sure that you're disinfecting surfaces, you're disinfecting items that are being shared with people, or just getting personalized things if you can. You know,
I think this next question, you've already answered it. When I asked what is the symptoms, you know, of this fever,
and what say it again so that people are very aware.
Okay, so I'll ask you again. That's okay. So, how does human contact Lassa fever?
From
what are the symptoms?
From each other. So there are seasonal variations, you know, to how endemic, and how, you know, we all know the word pandemic now, something that is happening and it's plenty, and we're all talking about it. So endemic means it's plenty, it is plenty here. Like it occurs a lot, it occurs commonly here. So Lassa fever is endemic. I mean, the disease is actually named after a town in Benue. So it's very endemic here. So we see it seasonally. I think it was since the 50s, 1950s, thereabout, people have been talking about it. And in 1969, if I'm not wrong, that's when we first isolated for a confirmed case of it. So it's been here for a while, and it has seasonal. So when you see those seasonal changes occurring, and the rats are getting closer to human settlements, they're coming closer to the house because, you know, maybe there's a drought or there's too much flooding outside, and so they're looking for shelter. So you get them more, you know, invading your own space in your house, and that makes it much easier for you for your food, for the rats to come in contact with your food, or for people to also be hungry enough to go eat the rats if there's like a famine or something. So things like that.
Yeah, they do. They eat
people do eat rats. I mean,
I said they hunt for it. They hunt for it. You know,
that's a delicacy. Bush meat is a delicacy for a lot of our tribes. Let's not be bougie now. So it's common for people to eat it, and the rats are common in our environment. So it's not unusual for them to invade your food spaces, and that's how people get to contact it. And then there's the person-to-person spread. So when people are sick. And
one of the ways to also prevent it is ensure your food is properly covered.
Yes, don't leave them in nylons. Put them in plastics that have good covers that, you know, they can really lock. Things like that will make it difficult for any organisms really to get into your food. And don't eat meat that you're not sure of the source.
I will help her to amplify that. I said, don't eat meat. You're not sure of the sauce. All right, thank you. We'll take a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. We're still discussing the implication of Lassa fever. And my last question to you before we hand over to the audience is,
Okay.
from this end, Lassa fever, is it curable and how?
Curable. Well, so here's the thing. Well, it's so much easier.
It may not be curable, but it could be preventable.
So it's preventable.
Yeah.
If you do have people that are sick in your environment, try not to self-medicate. Go to the hospital and get somebody to take a look at you. In addition to that, keep your food safe and all that, because the medications to treat some of these things are really difficult to come by.
Right.
You have to go to maybe Irua.
Can you imagine?
And that's like in Edo State, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it's in Edo State.
Yes, to go to the hospital.
The general hospital.
Yeah, either that or you're going to infectious disease hospital looking for a virologist. You know, it's just better to not get these infections, because ribavirin, I don't even know where to find it. If you can find it easily, you know. So there's a medication to treat Lassa fever, yes, but it works best when the infection is detected early. So in that phase where it's not even very serious, so it's best for, it typically serves best when it's contact tracing. Maybe one person is already diagnosed by Lassa or PCR, and then you can start saying, okay, who have you been in contact with recently? And those people are still.
Can the person diagnosed be isolated? Like we isolated some during COVID?
Yes. So yeah.
Since you say it's contagious.
Yes. So you can actually be, you know, kept separate from other people and treated in a room separate from other people. So it's easier. And then the people that come to treat you, the medical professionals, so will have to be in their personal protective equipment. So they would have to put on all of that gear.
So this something we have discussed is not a joke. Oh.
It's not a joke.
And when Kevin came, everybody, but even this Lassa fever is also
not a joke.
as dangerous.
So while they might not have
COVID.
the mastomys rodents in America or something, people, the world is a global village. If countries and communities need to stop acting as if when something affects or starts here, it belongs to only here. This COVID did not start in Africa.
Of course.
Fortunately, we didn't have very, very bad death rates, even though, I mean, every life lost is a life. It's somebody's family member and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just better.
Because that interaction is there now, movement from one corner to the other.
So it's not just an African thing anymore. It's not just a Lassa town thing. It's not just a Guinea thing or a Sierra Leone thing or a Nigerian thing. Because we all travel. The world is now a global village. So every disease of high importance should be important to everybody and every country. We should all work together to prevent it.
All right, thank you so much. We'll take a break now and then we'll come back to question and answer session. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
This is Vivid View.